Hello, and thank you so much for coming back. This is Joanna from Joanna the Medium, or I am Joanna the Medium. Thank you so much for your patience. The videos for September are coming a little bit late. I was just absolutely swamped in September. Thanks to you for the most part. The soul coaching sessions have proven to be a tremendous hit. There were 75% of all my work in September, and clients, you have found them to be extraordinarily helpful. So thank you for that. Thank you very much. This is obviously, these are general readings. It will not apply to all of you. That would be absolutely impossible. If one reading doesn't apply to you, look at your other signs as it may form a greater picture. I am also becoming very, very aware that the energies that I am working with are energies that are meant to give messages in a broader context. And what I mean by this is information is coming forward to help you look at life and at situation or situations from a different perspective. And the reason why that's being given to you at this time is because those of you who are ready for the next step of your soul's growth will instantly resonate with what's being said. Those are also messages that are not specific necessarily with regards to what's going on with your life and how you need to fix it. And for that reason, some of you will get very frustrated with me, and that's fine. If that's the case, you may not be ready for the information that I will be presenting moving forward. Sometimes it's just a matter of timing. Sometimes you're not ready to hear something, but you may be ready for a month from now or 2 months from now. And I absolutely respect that. I've been there myself. But it is very much as me saying, these messages are meant to help you how to fish rather than to give you fish every single time, because helping you learn how to fish is going to empower you to take better care of yourself in a more empowered way, versus if I was to be feeding you all the time and giving you information. That's actually very disempowering. And my greatest passion is to help people become empowered and find their own light in order to grow and live happy lives that start from feeling good within. So that is my greatest hope for all of you. And some of you are just looking for things to be fixed. And, if that's the case, you probably will not resonate with a lot of the messages that I say here. And that's totally okay. I am completely open to that, and I have respect for that. Okay. Is there anything else that I want to say? No, of course, if you would like a private message, you can also email me at joannahthemedium or info@joannahthemedium.com, but I have included links for you down below, so it's much easier so you don't have to look. I also want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, as always, for watching, sharing, subscribing, for if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be doing this. September is going to be an interesting month, to say the least. It is a month of changes and transformations for many of you, myself included. These aren't changes that are bad, or at least should not be looked at it that way, but there's definitely an energy of change that is very apparent in most of the readings that I've done for September. I think that's it. I don't want to spend too much of your time blabbing. So let's get on to the readings. And again, thank you so much for watching, sharing, and subscribing. And I look forward to hearing from you as far as your comments, because I love hearing those and reading those. And some of you have said I should stop going and I actually just noticed that I do that a lot. So I'm going to try and pay attention to that as much as I can. But it is something that's ingrained, so it's going to take me a bit of time to eradicate, but I obviously thank you for that comment. Without further ado, let's get started with the readings. See you soon. Hello and welcome back. This is going to be a reading for the sign of Aries, sun sign, moon sign, and rising sign. I have 3 cards face down. I'm going to connect with Spirit and see what messages we have, starting for the first part of the reading. Okay, so just give me one moment. The very first emotion and feeling I get is lack of abundance, and I feel this in my solar plexus area. So this is in my abdominal area, just underneath my rib cage. I hear this is connected to work, but the way that's being shown to me, it is a way of one's being. In other words, it is lack of abundance is a manifestation of one's belief system having to do with lack. Not luck, or not luck as in L-U-C-K, but lack, L-A-C-K. This is to do with lack of self-worth, lack of self-esteem, lack of dignity. I also even hear lack of anything to do with one's prospects or aspects of themselves. The number 8 is being shown to me as well. 8 to me is significant for abundance. It is a very powerful number. It is, he says to me, this is shown to me as a number of creation. I don't even know what that means, but I'm going to go with what's being said to me. The creativity behind number 8 is what gives one abundance. So why is it being shown? Because it's interesting that the number 8 is in my solar plexus, and also 8 to me represents power, and I hear lack of. Okay, so this is for those of you who feel you lack power. This is personal power. This is how you feel about yourself. And I see a tear running down my cheek in my vision, and there's tremendous amount of sadness for me seeing this in you, or whoever this pertains to, because I am able to look at you and see the absolute potential that you have and the power that resides within you, yet you are not able to see it and feel it for yourself, and therefore your environment is congruent with that which you feel of yourself. He's saying to me that this is going to be a month of great understanding, or possibility of greater understanding of yourself, for yourself. This isn't necessarily going to be an easy process, but it is a process of self, he says, mastery. Okay? Now, as I'm saying these messages, I realized it is not a message of when am I going to find my lover, when am I going to get a better job. This is much bigger than that. This is what I was mentioning at the very beginning of my intro, which was done before I recorded this video. This is meant for you to recognize certain patterns and behaviors within your belief system that is responsible predominantly for the way you live and how you live. And if you find yourself with lack of abundance, not luck, but lack of abundance, it is very much a representation of the inner you, or the way you look at world from your perceived ideas and convictions. So, in order for the outside circumstances to change, one must change, or at least acknowledge the faulty belief system one has within. Now, it is not an easy process to know that, to recognize it, and certainly to change it. But just because it's not easy does not mean it is impossible. In fact, it is more possible than one thinks. But the right frame of mind is the key component here. So, I'm going to ask why this is, and my nose is itchy as I channel lately. I don't know why that is. I don't know if some of you who channel, if you get the same thing, but my nose is itchy. I don't know what that means. And I just noticed that this month. If you are someone who is looking at your life and if you're not happy with what you see, whether it is in your marriage, in your work status being the word that was said to me, whether it is in the payoff that you get back for the hard work you do, whatever area in your life that you have that you're not happy about, you're being asked to look within and assess if your belief system about who you are and what you are capable of is congruent with the world outside of you. And what you will find very quickly, that if you look within and you allow yourself to see the obvious, you will be able to connect the dots, and then you will have the aha moment. This is a session, he says, of self-mastery and self-empowerment. This is being said to you because you are at a prime time, apparently, to make probably the biggest difference in your life as you know it. And you're being given the tools to do so. Now, change comes with what? He says change comes with a sense of renewness, okay? But change also comes with hard work, okay? So in order for you to see a different evidence in your outside circumstances, you have to take a hard look at the inner workings of who you are, okay? As I've mentioned to you at the very beginning, my biggest passion, the greatest passion of mine, is to help people recognize their perceived negative self-beliefs and turn them into strengths and positivity. So this is being given to you in particular at this particular time of your life as something that is very possible at this point in your journey. So whether you are looking at work and you are not liking where you're at, ask yourself some very hard questions. How am I contributing to being where I am, or to be where I am? If you are not getting paid enough for what you do, ask yourself the question, do I have enough worth within myself to reflect that to the outside world? Or do I have certain things I need to work on, and what I am right now, or what I feel I am right now, is actually a reflection of what I get back from outside? Who you are inside as far as your set of belief systems will 9 times out of 10 be reflected to you by outside circumstances. And for some of you, you will not agree with this, and I am completely okay with that. This message is not for you. But for those of you who are ready and willing to look at parts of your life and your belief system and really take a hard look and admit some things to yourself so that you can then bring it forward and change, that's who this is for. So this is not for the faint of heart, is what I want to say. And this work is often not very enjoyable, and it isn't always easy. but it is work that is extraordinarily rewarding in the end. And he says to me, this is meant to be a blessing, not a curse. What do you mean? He says, some people will find this message to be a nuisance because it does not seem to fix things. But for those of you who are ready, you will understand precisely what's being meant, okay? Now, I'm going to go through the cards and let's get into the nitty-gritty of stuff. So this was more of a general message, but a very profound message there nonetheless. And one that can be applied to anyone at any time in any situation in life. So it's much bigger. Okay, the first card represents your past, and we have the card called emotional loss. This is a card of change, number 5. This card is a suit of cups. In traditional tarot deck, it is the element of emotion or water. What this is saying to me, and I hear the words crying over spilled milk. I don't know if that's the card meaning, because I don't really read cards, or this is the card, this is what the message that is coming to me. And I'm going to connect with this card and see, why am I so itchy, my gosh, and see what this is trying to tell us in this particular reading. Okay, so what he's saying to me is that for those of you who this is for, there's a bit of a poor me attitude, okay? And I also hear the word sacrifice. For some of you, you have a poor me attitude and you feel like you have to sacrifice yourself or your life for others. And if this is the belief system that is running the computer that is you, it's not a good thing, okay? Because I do not believe that we are meant to suffer. I do not believe that for 1 second. I believe we're meant to go through certain circumstances and situations to help us grow. And once we learn or become or understand and gain wisdom from a situation, we can then move on to happier, better times. I do not believe that we are meant to suffer for the rest of our lives. But if one has a belief system that says my life is meant to be a suffering, guess what? That is exactly what the universe, God, whatever you want to say, is going to give to you, because that is what you believe. So how could you get something different? So if you have a bit of a poor me attitude, I want to say you want to examine your belief system. Really, really important. Okay? And he says to me, do not cry over spilled milk. So if something happened to you in the past that put you in a frame of mind that was, not very good, that's okay. That's in the past. But it doesn't mean you have to carry this attitude for the rest of your life. And it seems like that's what's happening. The second card is represented by your situation or the problem. And, okay, fulfillment of wishes, but don't get too happy because it is in reverse. Okay, this is another cups card. It's emotions. This is number 9. 9 represents endings. It was shown to me in reverse. Okay, so fulfillment of wishes, what is the opposite of that? Well, not fulfillment of wishes. So you are definitely feeling emotionally drained. You're feeling emotionally you are at your capacity and you can't give more. And you're feeling also done. Okay, done like dinner. Not that you're having any bad thoughts. It just emotionally you feel very drained. But because the number 9 is coming up, it is also signifying that you are in a position to end this cycle, which is why the message at the very beginning was the way as it was. I've learned to trust my spirit guide or whoever I'm working with, which is actually quite a few these days. I trust them with my life. Sometimes I don't know what the hell I'm saying, but at the end of the day, it comes back full circle and I go, aha. So I have aha moments. There's always a reason why something is being said the way it's being said. So what I want to say is this. If you're in a situation in your life, and I feel work is a lot of it to do with this, some of it is going to be relationships. Some of you perhaps are feeling like you are needing to move or leave a relationship, but you're not ready. Whatever the situation may be, if you feel like you are done, if you feel like you can do no more, if you feel drained emotionally, then look at your belief system and ask yourself some really important questions. And that is, how am I contributing to feeling the way I do? And I know some of you will disagree with me on this, and some of you will fight me. That's fine. This isn't for you because you're not ready. For those of you who are ready to look within, it is meant to be extraordinarily empowering so that you can understand yourself better and change it. If you do not understand what runs in your body and your mind, how can you possibly change it? You cannot change something you don't know exists. Okay? So this is a bit of a push for you and a bit of a, hey, listen, you might have had it bad in the past, but you got to change your belief system. You got to change the very software that's running your computer because it's faulty. Okay? Let's look at the card that pertains to your future or advice. 8. Look, 8. That's the number I was seeing. 8. That's what I was shown was missing. And in this situation, it is not only a card of future, it's also a card of advice. This is what you need to find within you. This is not something that is missing. This is not something that somebody took away from you. This is something that you forgot momentarily is within you. Everyone has this power. Every single one of us. It is limitless. The only difference is some of us, most of us, through life circumstances, forget that. It is often a product of conditioning. Actually, it is always a product of conditioning. So, please reclaim your power, for that is the only thing that will help you turn your life around. Once you feel powerful inside, you will emanate a certain energy that is going to be met with the universe's energy that will give you back what you need. So if you feel powerful and if you emit that frequency, guess what's going to come back to you? Like attracts like. No different. It doesn't work any other way. So if you are feeling unworthy, or if you are feeling done, or if you are feeling like you have nothing to give, and if you're feeling like poor me, that is not an empowering feeling, and that's what you emit. So that's probably why you're struggling. This is not meant to be a lecture, and please do not for 1 second feel that I am trying to lecture you, but it is meant to be a bit of a kick in the butt. Okay? And sometimes loving push is exactly what gets the work done. So even if you get a little bit angry by when I say these things, that means something is triggering. Something is being triggered. Examine what's being triggered. Maybe there is something there that you didn't even realize. A lot of these things we do, we're on autopilot and we don't even realize the extent of our belief system has on our lives. We just don't. The thing you need to remember is the power of your mind and the power of your imagination is extraordinary. If we're fearful and we're always thinking of fear, guess what? It's not just thoughts. It's always accompanied by feeling, right? There's the feeling of fear. That's why we say we feel afraid. We're afraid. But oftentimes when we send things that we want, we lack the energy behind it, so therefore they're flat. What I'm trying to say is, if you send out fearful information to the universe, fearful frequency, lower vibrating frequency, you will receive like results. It does not work any other way. It can't. It simply cannot. So, this is a session of empowerment. Please do not forget who you are. You are this. If you do not feel it, that's okay. I've been there, trust me. More than you'll never know. But this is who you are. This is who you are inside. It's time to take this back, okay? Now, this does not mean asserting power over others. That is not what's being meant at all here. This is the inner power, that inner power confidence, okay? It's really, really important for you to get this. If you keep thinking of yourself as powerless, you will keep attracting situations, circumstances, and people that will prove that to you, okay? And though there is some work ahead of you, this work is relatively short with in comparison to how long you've been suffering with this. So this could be about money, this could be about relationship, this could be about job, this could be about many things, but you get the picture here. This is about you examining your belief system. This is it. And some of you are going to like this, some of you are going to hate it, because it doesn't talk about specifically what you should do. That's very disempowering. So I'm going to leave it at this because I feel like I'm preaching, and that's the last thing I want to do. I hope this makes sense, and if it does, I would love your comments. I really would. My wish is to always give you information that is going to help you be the better person, stronger person, more enlightened, more powerful individual. That is always my wish. And I allow it to come in a way that it is meant to come out, even though it may not resonate with some people. And that's okay. And that's okay. Please let me know if this makes sense. I wish you best of luck. Please take care of yourself. He says to you, look up at the sky where the sun shines. Do not look at the ditch you just dug. That's very interesting. And this is a metaphor and I will let you interpret this in as you wish, but my guides seem to have a sense of humor. If you would like a private reading, of course, you can reach me at info@joannathemedium.com, or there's links below for you, which is a lot easier. Thank you so much for watching, subscribing, and sharing, and I look forward to seeing you again in October. Take care. Bye.